Okay, hello everyone. This is Sharonda, and this is my YouTube podcast and YouTube channel, Magic Mind Media. Today is Friday, and I am going to proceed with the law of reading. Now, I'd like to start off by saying that this podcast and YouTube channel is for entertainment, informational, and sometimes educational purposes. All right, so in the law of reading, I discuss whether you feel as though you're under a love spell or have some type of spiritual attachment. Um, and I will proceed to bring out the pendulum board. So this is a general reading. All right. So I will proceed to the uh, do my 7 card spread for this reading. All righty. All right, so what is in the cards for love, love, love? And this doesn't necessarily means um, a love and love reading. It could be love of self or love for humanity or whatever the case may be. All right, so we're going to proceed with the cards. 7 card spread. All right, these cards doesn't shuffle too well, so I'm just going to proceed to pick. All right, those are 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So, what exactly is a love spell? Well, for those who may be listening in or will be tuning in, a love spell is a spell that you can perform in efforts to dissuade someone or persuade someone's energy to take an affinity to you in a loving way or a loving matter. I'm not going to necessarily say that I agree nor disagree with love spells, what have you. I will say that you really have to be very careful when you are um, performing love spells, okay? Um, because in certain circumstances, you may form what is called a spiritual attachment where um, you're pulling in energy that is low vibrational energy that you can't get rid of. It may be more or less like someone who may exhibit stalking tendency, or obsessive compulsive tendencies, and things of that nature. Okay, because if it's meant to be, it will be, right? So we don't want to force anything that is not for us. All right, so we want to proceed with the 7 card. So for whoever this reading applies to or resonate with, the first card I get is mask. Not showing true feelings, hiding, personify, pretend, delude, gaslighting. So I honestly feel as though this reading is for someone who may be playing a little bit of part to get. It could be for you or whoever the person that's have an interest in you. It's more or less like a crush type of thing. I feel. Uh, the next card I get is self indulgence. So with that, I want to say that this could be a love, a young love, or a youthful love. reading. For someone who's young, that means like teenage or early 20s or what have you. Um, you want to, it's nothing wrong with having feelings for the opposite sex or even having a relationship with the opposite sex. But when you are at that point in your life, I think it's most important to stay focused on the long haul because you would begin to know that easy come, easy go, right? So we want to not be inconsistent in our behaviors and our desires. Some things are most important over time, right? Like you'll begin to appreciate things over time. So we don't want to rush anything. Focus on things that builds of the spirit. When you are at that point in time in your life, your late teens, early 20s, you're formatting who you are. Sometimes it takes many years to find out exactly who you are as an individual, as a person, right? So you may have a lot of this energy that gravitates to you and it make you feel as though that the world, like everything like they your only world. Everything about them revolves around you and vice versa. If that makes sense to anybody. You want to be focused on things that's going to be long standing, like such as your career, and development building, character building, and things of that nature, right? I have Cupid's arrow, so I do feel as though over time you will formate or even get in a loving relationship, but you don't want to jump into anything right off right away. Now, am I against teenage love or young people being in love? No, I'm not. But I honestly feel as though it takes knowing thyself or yourself before you can know someone else. So, um, as a teenager, you and a young adult, you're still figuring out what it is that you like. You may have some experimentation. You may go through phases of um, different desires and feelings, and these things are normal. So stay grounded and stay focused on what's relevant and what's important for the long haul. Because oftentimes the enemy will make us feel as though this is it, there's nothing apart from this, and that's that, and that's not the truth, right? I have talking, so I think it's just more or less talking. Just get to know the person, and do nice things. Don't do anything that would be detriment to your hearing and forever, if that makes sense, right? I have lightning, sudden change, shocking news. So I think whoever this reading is for, you'll begin to see things in others when there hasn't been any mentorship in regards to relationships, and it will gear you towards what is more relevant and important, right? So humbling experience, if that makes sense. I get the photograph card here. Um, I think the photograph card is a representation of um in 20 years you will look back on these scenarios and you will say to yourself, boy oh boy, this is what that was. If the person simply took things slow and had good counselship, many of these things could have been preventable in terms of some unfavorable circumstances that you may see the younger population are presented with. The last card I get is hand. Of course, it says take a chance, risk, be strategic, Options not showing hand gambling. Yes, so life is about risk. You don't want someone putting your life at risk or putting you at harm's way. So take things slow. Don't be so quick to um, fall for everything that presents to you. You'll begin to see that God does test us, and that is the truth. And oftentimes you'll find yourself scratching your head saying, okay, did I pass the test? Did I pass the test? And I'm talking about the test of life and love and living. All right, so I have two cards here with the love and light cards, and I will proceed to read those. The first one says, gentleness is the path of peace. The Lord is my shepherd. I have all that I need. Psalms 23, 1 3 through 3. So it may be a situation where a person or her sons, because this reader it's a general reader, but it could go for anyone, where they may feel as though they could supply all of your needs. No one cares about you. No one can do anything for you but them. And these are hallmark signs of someone who may not be the best person in your life, if that makes sense. The next card I have is a happy home. My people will live in safety, quietly at home. They will be at rest. Isaiah 32:18. So exactly. Um, Make sure you take care of home first. That means make sure you take care of self first. Make sure everything you have is in order, because if you're not in order, how can you bring order to someone else, or how can you bring order to a relationship or love to a relationship when there is obviously no love there? So I think that's what that card is a representation of. Let's get the twin flames. I'm gonna pull out a couple of these cards. And again, it's just a general reading. So I think by this being a new year, I am going to um not gonna do love readings, just a love reading after this week. I think it will be something that would be a part of a reading, if that makes sense. Like when I initially began to do readings, I would have love and life, health, um, past life, love. So I'm going to incorporate the love reading back into when I do my general readings. Fridays, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do with Fridays, but I will be stopping the love readings. It will be a part of the general reading, which I do on what, Mondays? Yes. So we will tackle, and another thing I will be doing is taking away the chakra energy cleansing, and as well, I'm going to incorporate that as a health reading along with the love reading on Mondays with the general reading. So the general reading will comprise of life, what may be presented to you in life, what may be presented to you in love, as well as health. So that's how I'm going to do in terms of the general reading, and that will be on Mondays. Okay. All right. So the first card I pulled is 6-6 integration, multi-dimensional healing. So I honestly feel as though this reading may resonate with someone who may um, come from humble beginnings, and you're looking to integrate and be in a more diverse environment so you can have exposure to different types of energy. The next one I get is 9-9. It says sacred sexuality, accessing the unified field. So you want to make sure that you No one is perfect. This is a learning experience, it's life experience. No one is perfect. But do trust and know that certain things are implemented or instituted because of curses that has been placed upon um, us and humankind to depopulate. You will forever hear me say these things. I have 1010 High Priestess card. It said expanding your consciousness. So I think at this time, God is wanting to expand you to expand on your knowledge and capability and spirituality to where you'll be able to relate the information in a more practical, everyday life experiences, if that makes sense. The next card I get, which is an angel number, 1111. Am I enough? Let go of expectation. So you are enough. Know that you are enough, and know that um, when someone tries to make you feel as though you are to be codependent on them and they the only one that matters in your life and no one else matter, and you don't matter, you have to be very cautious of that type of energy. Okay, so let's proceed. So in situations such as that, do you feel as though it is a love spell? I'm going to say yes. Let's pull out my pendulum board. Whoever this reader resonate for or with, or whoever may be tuning in or watching in, are they under a love spell? Yes or no? Okay, so it looks like it's going back and forth. I don't know if you can see love spell. Love spells, I feel, can potentially be dangerous. And this situation, I do not feel as though it's dangerous. I think um, it's just, it's not healthy. Just put it this way. I don't feel as though it's dangerous, but at the same time, I don't feel as though it's healthy. Am I going to say is anything wrong with love spells? Well, I'm not going to at liberty to say one way or another in regards to love spells, but I do feel as though you have to be very careful about the energy that you pull in, is what I would say. Everybody don't think the same or view life the same way or view love the same, if that makes sense. You got some people or energies that have a hard time with differentiating love and power and control. Like it's twarped in their mind and sensibility, if that makes sense. And that could be because of um, family dynamics, um, or on personal fulfillments, or whatever the case may be. So you have to be very careful when you have or you allow a lot of that energy into your space. In essence, it can bring about a lot of problems, that lifelong problems in the long haul, lifelong regrets in the long haul that you don't want. Um, you don't want to um, have. It's just that simple. All right, so let's go ahead. Even though this is a long read, I'm gonna try to make it at least 25 minutes. We're at close to 20 minutes now. All right, so let's go ahead and just pull out some more cards. Let's get a little bit more information in regards to who this reading may be for. It's a general reading. right, so I have Empress. When I get the Empress card, it's in relation to mass communication, media, something that needs to be conveyed, something that needs to get out. That's what Empress is to me. The next card I get is Five of Cups. So Five of Cups mentions loss, regret, grief, feeling abandoned and unloved. Exactly. Like when you jump into something that without thought and wanting to satisfy a temporary desire versus what is sensible, you oftentimes find yourself um, in regret. The next card I have here is Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords mentions self-imposed restrictions, isolation, and imprisonment. Exactly. So you don't want to let somebody dominate you and keep you from your happy, right? We want to do things that are favorable. We don't want to do things that are going to be a detriment to us in the long haul. The next card I get is Page of Swords. Page of Swords mentions a curious kid gossips, spies, prying eyes, and truth. Exactly. So oftentimes when we're curious, particularly as a young adult, teenager coming into adulthood, and when we are curious about things, as the saying go, curiosity killed the cat. All right. You'll find that many people are in a lifelong regret because of curiosity, not listening to counsel, not listening to elders, not listening to those who have went through the milestones in life, who went through certain things in life. You know, kept hearing the word spectators. Once you get to a certain point in time in life, you're perceived to know spirits. Spectators, take note of the spectators. Oftentimes, the spectators are the ones that wear the glasses. A lot of times, that's the trademark. They wear the little neat little glasses, and so these are spirits, by the way. And oftentimes, you'll find that the spectators have spiritual sight because they have been through some of the same similar things that you're heading down. They've been down the road that you uh, potentially could be heading down, right? All right, we have Nine of Staffs. So the Nine of Staffs, which is Nine of Wands, it said keeping and maintaining boundaries and persistence. So you want to stay focused. Stay focused. That's the key factor here, the key word is to stay focused. I have Ace of Coins. Oftentimes, when I get that card, is in relation to evil eye or oversight. Ace of Coins or Pinnacle says new job, raise, promotion, investment, and new income. So you want to look for towards the future. You want to look towards the happy place. It's what you want to focus on. Because evil eye will oftentimes try to deter you from your happy. Oftentimes when we are about to reach a milestone, we're about to elevate in this life experience. Negative, low vibrational energy stays on its job 24/7. So you will oftentimes see that they will intercede in to keep us away from our happy place, right? What this card is a representation of to me. Be very wary. All right, so as I have as the solution, and we will be bringing this to a close, resolution, I should say, mentions Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups says princess or prince, charming romance proposal. So don't rush anything at this particular time. You're young, um, and you want to enjoy life. You want to enjoy your youth. You don't want to grow up too fast because it is in the cards, is what it indicates, but it does take time. You don't want to rush anything. Okay? So that is your love reading for this week. Any questions, comments, or suggestions, you're more than welcome to comment below. Until then, have a safe and wonderful day.